Players are all waiting in line, waiting for the anthems. It's not quite the delay we had in Dublin the other day. As the applause rings out for Harry Kane, who lifts that golden cap above his head and gets some flowers from the Finland camp as well. How lovely is that? 100 caps for England. Only 10 have done it. Truly extraordinary from Harry Kane, who, when he was on loan at Orient, on loan at Millwall, the Norwich spell wasn't particularly great. He was on the bench at Leicester with Jamie Vardy, remember? That's a famous picture. They both went on to play together for England. Now Harry Kane takes his place in the lineup, and we bring you the Finland national anthem. National anthem, and it is finished. Now let's respect God Save the King. Well, no singing from the England boss tonight, of course. 6 weeks ago, Lee Carsley was here, probably singing along at Wembley to see Bruce Springsteen play live. Well, Carsley's the boss at Wembley tonight. It's England-Finland with former England captain Stuart Pearce and your England commentator on Talksport. Here's Jim Proudfoot.
Thank you, Adrian, and a very good evening to you for the first of what he hopes will be a fair few Wembley glory days. It was 3 months ago that England were last here at Wembley for what turned out to be an ominous dress rehearsal for the Euros. There were elements of that 1-0 defeat to Iceland that proved prophetic for the tournament itself. Possession that was easy to come by but which lacked a cutting edge. 2/3 of the ball, just one shot on target. A display that did little to suggest that England would get within 3 minutes of extra time in the final. How much of a contrast will tonight be? A new coach and a remodelled team with different ideas. The few have inherited the England job with such an impressive legacy of tournament results to emulate or better. The clamour for stylish success has never been higher. Tonight, there are 4 changes to the team that began the new era with such a vibrant opening 45 minutes in Dublin. The full debut for Angel Gomez, the second start for Rico Lewis, with Stones and Conser recalled too, and of course, a 100th cap for Harry Kane. It's Pickford in goal, Alexander-Arnold, Stones, Conser and Lewis, Rice and Gomez, Saka, Grealish and Gordon, and Kane. Finland make 4 changes to the side beaten by Greece. Radetsky, Stahl, Hoskonen, Ivanov and Uranen, Peltola and Schuller in midfield, Jensen, Kamara and Keskinen, and Teemu Pukki. The referee tonight is Morten Krø from Denmark. Now, before the game starts, Wembley Stadium will pay tribute to Sven-Göran Eriksson, who led England to the quarter-finals of 3 successive major tournaments, and whose words in his last interview gave a poignant insight into the character of a manager much loved and respected by his players. I hope you'll remember me as a positive guy, trying to do everything he could do. Don't be sorry, smile. Take care of yourself and take care of your life, and live it. The applause is also in recognition of Kevin Campbell, former England coach Craig Shakespeare, Tommy Banks, who played in the 1958 World Cup. Shakespeare, Tommy Banks, and Sven Euring. Well, Finnish players in there. Change kit of all blue tonight, and they will kick from right to left in the first half. England in all white. Wembley's first glimpse of how the future is potentially shaped on a night of honour for one of the linchpins of the immediate past. As Harry Kane reaches his England century, his manager is involved in a game at Wembley for the very first time. He started, but can his side get past the finish line? It will be Finland that will get us underway. Just waiting for the signal on this near touchline. Lee Carsley patrolling the edge of the technical area, just wiping a little bit of rain away from his brow, and we are underway. Finland looked very susceptible to the press in their game against Greece the other day. And straight away the ball is played back to the goalkeeper Radetsky, who slices it straight out for a throw that is taken on the England right. Harry Kane working it towards the edge of the penalty area. He'll be chased by Anthony Gordon, who'll pick it up down on the far side on the corner flag, just in front of the Finnish supporters. He's played it back here for Rico Lewis, who's making his home debut for England today. Stones laying it back for Angel Gomez, the diminutive French-based midfielder. The player from Lille worked down towards the left-hand side here for Gordon, gets to the byline, pulls it back inside the penalty area. Grealish works it away to Gomez. Now back for Stones. And Stones goes to the left-hand side again for Gomez. And England with just about every kick of the ball since about 5-6 seconds in. This could be a long night for the Finnish. I'm delighted to say it won't be a long night for us in the company of Stuart Pearce.
Evening, Jim. Yeah, you're right in what you're saying there. Finland have come out, they took centre, they kicked the ball out of play, and since then they've looked absolutely woeful, to be honest with you. And this is a real bonus for England. Looking forward to seeing the combinations there between Gordon and Grealish that we saw at the weekend. And one or two in the side as well, with Lewis being utilised as a left back instead of Colwill. I think he'll offer us more going forward.
Well, already the Netherlands lead Germany by a goal to nil in their match in League A, with Reinders scoring that goal in the third minute. We're a couple of minutes in here. There's a long diagonal from John Stones out of the England right-hand side, beautifully brought down by Saka. It's got Rice making a run ahead of him. It's flicked inside the penalty area and half cleared. Alexander-Arnold will chase after it. Gomez as well, just brushed off it by Keskinen, who's able to make his way forward. There was a heavy touch under duress from Gomez, no foul. And England are in a position to bring it away with Declan Rice just on the edge of the centre circle. And they'll get it over halfway and work it back for Gomez again.
Yeah, Keskinen there picked the ball up, drove with it, and just lost his footing. No hesitation from the referee about giving a free kick at all. And it will be one of those games, Finland banked up behind the ball with all 11 players, and it will be important we move the ball quickly and look to mix the game up, both short and long.
And with Teemu Pukki in the side, you wouldn't expect that Finland will try and press. There was a half-hearted attempt for them to press against Greece in that game in Piraeus on Saturday, which wasn't particularly effective. They certainly looked much more susceptible to the Greek press. The first goal came that way, and you would imagine that England here at every opportunity when the ball is with the Finns deep inside their own half, England will be pressing the life out of it. But the Finns have got to get it first for that to happen. Gordon on the left-hand side, motions to cross, turns back the other way. Kane at the far post, heads it down. Couldn't find anyone inside the 6-yard box, and Peltola comes back to knock it away for a corner. England getting themselves into a fine position early on. Great ball stiffed up to the far post for Kane. Just trying to head it down, but his teammates couldn't get there in time.
Yeah, I think it's really important tonight, Jim, that we do put the ball in the box at the earliest possible convenience, and Harry Kane found himself an absolute acre of space at the far post.
So a corner that will be taken on the England left. First off the game. Kane stands by the penalty spot, all eyes on him. John Stones just behind him. Conser making a run in towards the near post. It's in towards the Villa man. It's off the top of his head and cleared by Stall out towards the England left-hand side. Easily brought down by Grealish, who can feed Rice, and then Gordon straight away. Gordon heavily involved in these early stages. He'll go back behind square. Alexander-Arnold working into his right-hand side for Bukayo Saka. Saka down towards Kane. Kane out on the right wing for a moment here. Finland just can't get out of their own half. This has been 4 minutes of utter England dominance so far. It just feels already as though it's a matter of time before Carsley's men take the lead. It might come now with a right-footed shot from the edge of the area from Rice. It was just flicked off his toe in the nick of time by Schuller. And Finland will be able to get it away down the left-hand side with Uronen. Anywhere will do. Stones mopping up, gets there ahead of Pukki. And England will be able to build from the back again.
Yeah, the Finns are certainly showing in this early stages of the game that they are absolutely no match at all for England, and it's important. England have done extremely well in these early stages, mixing it up. It's been short on occasion, but they've also hit raking passes and got it forward and in the box quickly.
And here's Keskinen making his way forward. The Aberdeen player who came on for his debut for half an hour the other day against Greece makes his first start tonight. England have got it away from Keskinen and laid it back for Pickford, who was put under quick pressure by Pukki. And it was a slightly rash touch from him, but it's hit Pukki, last gone out of play for a goal kick that'll be taken actually by John Stones away to our left-hand side for England. 6 minutes gone, still 0-0. Finland starting this campaign with a 3-0 defeat in the game against Greece the other night, and they were in many ways lucky to get away with 3. 1 win in 5 coming into tonight. They had won 6 of the previous 9 before that. They've got a bad Nations League record throughout their history, but they are ranked just around the 60 mark in both of the world ranking lists at the moment. It's similar to Ireland. They'll have possession over on the far touchline. The ball is laid towards Gordon. Grealish just got a tap on the ankle and stayed down for a moment. He's back on his feet now. Gomez, first player to start a game for England who plays in French football for 30 years. Back from him to Lewis. Lewis to Grealish. Grealish out towards Gordon on the left. Gordon to Lewis. And Lewis going further back. I say he's the first in just over 30 years. To speculate who the last one might have been. Give you a little bit of time to think about it. Ball over on the left-hand side with Jack Grealish again for England. Finland have probably had literally 3 or 4 kicks of the ball in England territory in the opening 7 minutes. Alexander-Arnold back for Gomez again. Gomez behind square towards John Stones. Stones able to bring the ball forward. Rico Lewis with a shock of black hair out towards Anthony Gordon, taking on Stall on the outside. That's not a bad ball in, but Saka just lost it in the flight. He couldn't get his head on it. He'll come back out towards Alexander-Arnold. Clever little reverse from him. Saka chipping it deep to the far post. Kane coming around the back with a volley, which has hit the nearest defender, Stall, and flies over the bar and out of play for a corner.
Yeah, I think it's really important tonight, Jim, that when we do get the ball out in wide areas, put it in the box. The centre forwards and the attacking midfield players will know they've got to get on the ball. And what I'm liking the look of at this moment in time, every time Gordon's got it or Grealish has got it, they've travelled directly at the opposition goal at pace.
Certainly signs of intent from England. We've got 6 players inside the penalty area ready to attack this latest corner. Alexander-Arnold's gone out to the England left to take this. It'll be a right-footed in-swinging delivery. Rice making a run in towards the near post. It's Kane coming around the back. Bradetsky, who played such an important part in Leverkusen's fantastic season last year, punches it away. And England will pick it up in a deeper lying area again with Gomez. Another good ball down the left-hand side of the penalty area for Gordon. First time ball in from him, looking for Kane. Finland backpedaling, get it away from the edge of their 6-yard box. Now played out towards Jensen. And on the right flank, he's just been able to buy a throw off Gomez, which will be taken by his right back, Stall. So we're 8.5 minutes in. England 0, Finland 0. Really good start from Lee Carsley's men here, but yet to force Radetzky into a decent save.
Yeah, in all honesty, I don't mind that, Jim. We're on the front foot. I'm really enjoying what we're doing. I'm enjoying seeing Declan Rice in advanced areas and not playing just in front of the back line. I mean, he's just dropped in to receive it now, but Gomez is the one who's the security, and as we see there, Declan Rice pops it off and then he gets forward into a number 10 position.
And as he does that, Kane comes back the other way past him, inside the centre circle, receiving the ball from his centre halves for a moment, but there is a good fluidity of movement amongst these England players. Carsley, the 11th successive manager to get off to a winning start. Only 3 have won their first 2 games as England boss. Joe Mercer, Ron Greenwood, and most lately Steve McLaren. That's part of 20 years ago now, so a little less than that. Here's Declan Rice down towards the England right-hand side for Saka. He's got 2 doubling up on him in front of him. Uranen forces him inside. Alexander-Arnold coming from right back into a central position there to receive the ball. Finland chasing shadows still. Back he goes from Gomez to the edge of the centre circle for Ezri Konsa. Konsa can bring it forward. Saka on his right-hand side, hugging the touchline. Now Saka will come in off the right-hand touchline. He's level with the right-hand edge of the box before very swiftly turning it, left-footed, back to Alexander-Arnold. Real zip on the playing surface. It's been tipping it down with rain for the last hour and a half or so here in North London. And it continues to come down with real ferocity. But it's making for a very quick playing surface, which will suit England, you would think. Stones to Konsa. Stones playing on the left of the 2 centre-halves, incidentally. Konsa on the right, and he's got it now. Back towards Stones. Gomez to his left, Grealish further forward to his left, and that's the pass that he plays. And now he goes out towards Gordon again. Gordon feeling as though he's got the beating of Stall. He's got Jensen doubling up in front of him. Back he goes for Grealish to Gordon. Gordon level with the edge of the box. Just dropping the right-hand shoulder and stretches out his right leg to bring the ball under control. Never giving any of the Finnish players a chance to win it back. Back he goes for Gomez. There's a quick switch of play. From the left-hand side of the area to the right. Alexander-Arnold driving it in. It looks as though it might have hit an arm. No real complaints, and it was outside the area anyway. And Kamara, the former Rangers and Leeds man, could bring it forward, and he eventually will win a throw, and that provides a little bit of respite for Finland, who've been barely second best over the opening 11 minutes.
Yeah, I think it's really important in games like this. We have to keep our width, whether that be the 2 advanced players in Gordon and Saka, or alternatively, if they do come off their perches on occasion, it's got to be the fullbacks that advance and keep wide. And when it does arrive there, we've had a few passes across the pitch. It's got to come in the box, Jim.
Well, those are the thoughts of the former England captain Stuart Pearce, and you're listening to coverage of England-Finland in the UEFA Nations League with Carl. 18 plus, always drink responsibly. Live football comes back for you at the weekend from the Premier League. Southampton against Manchester United are offering on Game Day Live as Pukki gets the ball inside the penalty area, snatches at a shot very quickly. Rico Lewis came across the block, and he's conceded the first corner, which will be taken on the Finnish left-hand side. And Uranen will come across to take it. Good play by Teemu Pukki, who is, with 42 goals, Finland's all-time leading marksman. Finland flooding the area just in front of Jordan Pickford. 3 in the 6-yard box. The ball has travelled a long way. Grealish there to stab it clear. Finland forced to go all the way back for the goalkeeper, Radetzky, who comes outside his penalty area, and England can very quickly get the back line forward to hold a very high line. It's punted over the top of them. Lewis has done really well there, backpedaling, and was just given a shove, but was still able to volley it away from Keskinen. Rice picks that up, goes back for Pickford. It was a ball that he probably didn't want at that angle or with that pace under pressure from Pukki, but he got it away off the island to safety and almost the halfway for a throw that will be taken on the Finnish left-hand side. 0-0.
Yeah, Pickford received one earlier that he looked a bit uncomfortable on. It was on his right foot. That one was even worse for him. Not on his left foot, sort of between the two, to be honest with you, and just managed to steer it away.
Stall Getting it forward for Glenn Kamara, who's playing in a slightly more advanced role for his national side than he ever did at either Rangers or Leeds. At times in the game against Greece, he was almost playing as a false nine. Up top alongside Chelman, who's been dropped tonight in favour of Pukki's return. Has played that little bit deeper tonight than he did out in Piraeus so far. They get a free kick, Finland, and take it quickly to Uranen. And he'll play it back for Ivanov to Radetsky. And the goalkeeper can let the ball come to a standstill on the edge of the D. No real press from England there, significantly. Maybe they feel that it's the centre-halves that'll be less able to deal with the press, but they allowed Radetsky cheap possession on the edge of the D. Now, the pressing was pretty good the other day, and in terms of the pressing stats, it was one of the best pressing performances that England have offered for a couple of years. In terms of XG, it was the highest for England since they beat San Marino at home back in 2021, an XG of nearly 4. It shows the attacking intent of this Lee Carsley side. Long switch of play here, back down towards the England right. Saka's controlled it neatly. And that's a good reverse ball from him. Good run from Declan Rice across the 6-yard box. Radetsky saved well. But that's another illustration of the much more advanced role that Declan Rice has got under Lee Carsley than he ever had under Gareth Southgate.
Yeah, as I say, he was considered as a holding midfield player, I think, in previous regimes. But now we're seeing Declan, and we always felt as though there was more in him. He's doing it for Arsenal, playing more advanced, and it's good to see him, I think, for England. I think he's got so much more to offer.
Gomez gets the ball forward here for Rico Lewis. Now towards Gordon. Now on that left flank. Going back inside towards Grealish in this free role. He's got just a flit around, but he often finds himself playing it inside left. Rice forward towards Alexander-Arnold. Declan Rice controls it again. Alexander-Arnold into the feet of Saka and swiftly back. And then the Liverpool man works it to his left-hand side for John Stones. Stones is now in the 80s in terms of England caps. And forward towards Concert. To Gomez. I said earlier, he's the first for more than 30 years to be playing his club football in France to play for England. The last one, Trevor Steven, back in 1992 on the books of Marseille. Chris Waddle was a Marseille player and played for England at the same time earlier that season. Haley and Hoddle at Monaco back in the 80s, but other than that, that is it. So Gomez only the 5th player to win an England cap whilst playing football in the French league. And he's got it again now, Gomez, right on cue, out towards the left for Gordon. Gordon, shown inside by Storm, fires in a right-footed cross off the top of Kamara's head. Rice is up there to attack it, it's clear. Pukki does well with his back to the direction of play to lay it back for Kamara. And he slices it upfield very quickly, but straight out is a ball that was looking for Keskinen, but only found touch. Stones, another long switch, this time out towards Gordon. Stall stopped it from getting there. We're 16 minutes in, possession has been really easy to come by, but decent goal scoring opportunities less so.
No, probably the best ones come from when Gordon's popped the ball in the box and it arrived at the far post on Harry Kane's head. That's why I think it's so important when we do work the opportunity to cross it, we do get it in the box. And probably also as well, Jim, a good tactic in games like this is play it and volley a pass. Shove it into a centre forward or an advanced player and volley a pass. It is so difficult to track you as a runner then.
Concert to Lewis. Now down towards Gordon. Gordon's first motion always just to drop the left shoulder and cut inside on his right foot. Back for Kane. Kane switches it. Bottom right-hand corner of the area, Alexander-Arnold fires in a cross with his left foot. It was clear. Stones helps it on. Rico Lewis will take over. Back for Alexander-Arnold again. Lewis on the edge of the penalty area here for England finds Declan Rice. Alexander-Arnold tried to deliver. Finland backed up behind the ball in this 4-2-3-1 formation. Pukki giving chase. I don't think he's going to be able to persist with this work rate over 90 minutes, and that might well be part of the game plan tonight to bring Chelman on midway through the second half or so. Pukki run himself into the ground, defending from the front. Here's Gordon, and this time he's gone back the other way past Stall, and he fires it in. It's taken a deflection wide of the near post, and England get their third corner.
Yeah, really good play once again by Gordon. The interaction between him and Grealish, you can tell they enjoy playing with each other. on the same wavelength, and it's important that when he does get into those wide areas, he done brilliantly there and just couldn't find the cross, just a bit low. The tactic of playing and following tonight, Jim, will unlock the finish, and I've not seen us do it as yet, but that's what should be happening at times. Get it, a centre forward pins his man, or an advanced player pins his man, shove it in the feet and off you go.
Rice stands right in front of the goalkeeper. England have got more bodies close to the goal this time as the corner comes in. Radetsky has punched it clear, not particularly effectively. It's picked up inside the penalty area by Saka. Kane's peeled out of the right-hand side of the box to link up the play. Back he goes for Gomez, the deepest of the England outfield players. He finds Grealish under immediate pressure from Pukki, but he's able to retain possession and work it to the left for Declan Rice. Now back in front of the 500 or so travelling Finnish supporters. England have possession again. Alexander-Arnold over on the right-hand side. In towards Kane, who stretched. He couldn't quite get there. Evanoff was there first. And then he's eventually able to volley it clear from the edge of the penalty area. That looked as though it might be Harry Kane's moment as it came inside the box. Evanoff, who struggled against the Greeks, did well to make sure that he was there first and deny Harry Kane goal number 67 for his country.
Well, I don't know if it was luck or judgment there, Jim, by Evanoff, but he managed to get himself out of trouble a little bit, facing his own goal, just looped it up in the air and dealt with the second ball.
The Dutch have been leading Germany since the opening couple of minutes. That's still the way of it. The Czechs lead Ukraine 1-0, but those are the only goals in the Nations League so far tonight. The other game in this group still 0-0, Ireland against Greece. There's Grealish, just forced away. First time that he started back-to-back games for England since 2021, 3 years ago. Now the ball threaded through. Kane, good save. Radetsky dived to his right. The shot that was hit right down the middle of the goal. Hit with pure brute force, really, and save. Now the cross comes in, it's headed away by Hoskonen. And the counter-attack could potentially be on here. Keskinen leading the way. He's got Pukki to his left-hand side. Stones backpedaling. Pukki's got to try and time his run. Keskinen might be able to go alone. Checks and hits a right-footed shot, which drifts wide. Wouldn't have counted anyway. Whistler's gone for a foul inside the England penalty area. That's the first thing that we've seen that was remotely lively from Finland coming forward.
Well, it certainly was, and I'll tell you what, they went absolutely like a steam train, straight for the goal. Keskinen, it was, and he couldn't find a pass.
Grealish at the other end, England working it forward quickly with Gordon. Back for Grealish, to Lewis, to Gomez. Gomez looks so able in possession, and as soon as I say that, he smacked one straight at Alexander-Arnold, and it's ricocheted back towards halfway, but he just plays head up, and the clever reverse ball there. Saka's in, angles tight, the deflection was horrible, and Radetsky did really well to react, lying on the ground to stick up a hand and stop it looping over him off Evanoff and into the net for 1-0. It was a good save because he was committed. Went down to save the initial shot. The deflection took all the power out of it, but put more loop on it, and Radetsky reacted well.
Yeah, it's the second time that Gomez has played a ball that's bisected the midfield line, and it went straight through to Saka, and he just didn't get good contact on it, I've got to say, and it's ended up being deflected, and the goalkeeper done well eventually.
And we'll bring it forward again. Gordon under duress with a slightly heavy touch. Stall the defending, and then Hoskonen knocking it away. Adam Stall making just his second appearance for his country tonight. Approached to play for Finland over the summer. Country of his mother's birth. He was born in Sweden. Played all his club football in Sweden. And for Finland now for just the second time tonight. Here's Saka on the corner of the penalty area. Lovely curving ball in, and there is a magic moment that is denied by an offside flag. Kane with a diving header. He thought he marked the century with a goal. The flag was up immediately.
Wrist must have been really, really tight there. Kane right on the shoulder of the far defender. And that's the sort of ball we need to come in. Saka done well. Drop back in on that left foot. And he's just whipped the ball in it. And I've got to say, it was absolutely top quality defending there. Hoskonen, I think it was, or maybe Stall, has just stepped out and just caught him offside. Good defending.
And also, to give the Danish official credit, that's outstanding officiating on this near touchline to see that he's offside. Replay that we've shown isn't from the perfect angle, but it looks as though he's probably a couple of inches off with his left foot. Must be close, because the restart hasn't been ordered yet, so they must be drawing the 3D lines on. We're not seeing those pictures. The goal check still continues, so this could yet count.
Well, I've got to say, if one of those boots of these was slightly offside, they're so golden, you couldn't miss them.
Was that a layer of golden paint? If they took that off, he was probably on.
Yeah, personally, I think he's offside. I'm looking at this. Yeah,
looks like his left foot, Stu.
Yeah, his left foot, just straight offside. I mean, Harry Kane can't do any more than that. It's just really good defending by the defenders.
Yeah, Stall pushing forward, judged it to perfection, and the offside call, which was a brilliant one from the assistant referee, with players moving in opposite directions to each other. That call is upheld, and play restarts at 0-0. Credit to Dennis Rasmussen, who raised his flag there.
You make a really good point, though. Some of the officials that we have, both in the Premier League and at international level, it astounds me, Jim, how they get it so right so often.
Yeah, I couldn't remotely do it. Not a chance. That was a great call. I suppose it's a 50-50 call, but he got it right. Constant plays to his left-hand side for Gomez, and they get it right. Their success rate on those 50-50 calls is about 93-94%, something. I mean, it's just extraordinary how they do it. The ball played forward again for England, down towards Alexander-Arnold, who came to meet it, just tried to dart it in with a right-footed half volley and take the pace off it at the same time. It's come off the top of his foot and gone out of play for a goal kick. Going to be taken away to our right. Last time these two sides met was at Anfield back in 2001. Aki Riolati, Palace fans will remember him, gave Finland an early lead that they had until half-time. And came back with goals from Michael Owen and David Beckham to win it by 2-1. Now the press is on. Radetzky plays it forward. It was Rice that was applying the press on the midfielder Schuller, who hurriedly got it back to his goalkeeper. Kane chased him down, but it was cleared and Finland got away with it. They'll work it out on the right-hand side and win a throw over on that far touchline. What's your overview then, Stuart Pearce, of the opening 25 minutes here at Wembley on Talksport?
Well, England have showed high energy, which I've really enjoyed.
But they've lost it here. Keskinen, edge of the area, and he's hit the crowd.
Well, just as we were saying that, the ball's broke, Declan Rice has lost it, and Heiskanen should have done so much better. He's opened the goal up, he's inside the box, and he skied it when he had Pukki to his left. More importantly, he should be hitting the target there. I think England have started on the front foot, good high tempo. The two things I think they've got to do slightly better is don't over-complicate it. Once it goes in wide areas, load the box up and put it in the box. And secondly, those little give and goes, shove the ball into people's feet and go and follow it.
Here's Rice. Forward towards Alexander-Arnold. Some misplaced pass from him. He was looking for the run from Saka to his right. Didn't quite get it right. England recycle it, get it back very quickly with Ezri Konsa in the centre circle. He plays it forward again for Gomez. So the group as it stands at the moment, 4 points for Greece and England, 1 point apiece for Ireland and Finland. Both games tonight in this group 0-0. As Grealish works it to the England left for Anthony Gordon. Gordon back for Angel Gomez again. Grealish just putting his head down and running with intent to try and get between Stall and Koskinen. It was cleared away from him. And then helped back over the top by Finland towards Pukki. Stones denied him any further progress. And Gomez always in the right place at the right time, just darting around, picking up possession and getting it back, and then chipping one over the top for Kane's run. But Koskinen was between him and the ball, and he goes through very quickly for Radetzky in the finished goal. Gomez plays. We talked about Adam Wharton's debut, and he came on for half an hour at Newcastle back in June. But Gomez plays with that same freedom as if he's always been playing international football. He just doesn't look fazed by it at all.
Jim, he's got a game understanding. He knows what he's trying to do with the ball. He knows when to keep it simple. And more importantly, he's played free. Very, very good, outstanding forward passes.
Bukayo Saka gets to the byline. Right-footed ball chipped up Deflects away, out for a corner, which will be taken on the England right-hand side. It's their fourth corner, 28 minutes in, still 0-0. The signal is given by Saka. He's raised both arms above his head. Kane stands inside the 6-yard box this time. Gordon between the goalkeeper and the goal line. And then Peltola was pushed to the ground inside the 6-yard box. And the referee blows his whistle, has a word with Peltola, and I think it was John Stones that put him there. Now blows his whistle again to signal to Saka that he may now continue. So again, the arms get raised above his head. A little stuttering run-up, left-footed ball fired in. It was attempted a flick header from Konsa on the edge of the 6-yard box. Didn't get anything on it. And Kamara's going to be able to bring it away for Finland. They thought about a counter-attack. England did really well, great discipline to quickly get their shake back behind the ball to stop any counter. And then Gordon, putting the pressure on Peltola, forces him to go all the way back for his goalkeeper. And now be able to receive it again just outside the penalty area to Ivanov, to Radetsky. Peltola turning under pressure from Gomez. Has he fouled him? Referee says yes. And he said no. He was clean through on goal 8 yards out.
I've got to say, the Finns are their own worst enemies when they look to play out from the back. When they've got the ball at the back under what they consider no pressure to play out, they look very, very nervous.
A couple of very notable wins over the last 10 years or so. They beat France 2-0 in a friendly at Stade de France back in 2020. Denmark 1-0 in that ill-fated Euro 2020 opener. And those the only successes they've had against top 10 opposition over the last 10 years, but 2 wins out of 7 is not a bad record for a side who themselves are ranked 63rd in the FIFA list and 57th in the yellow ratings at the moment. Jack Grealish with possession. England's record in this kind of game, very impressive. 32-6-1 against sides ranked outside the top 40. So just the one defeat, and that was the last game here against Iceland 3 months ago. The only game that they've lost in the last 39 against sides ranked outside the top 40. Here's John Stones bringing the ball forward. England are just struggling to find the cutting edge. So much possession, great movement, good tempo, everything but the goal for England up to this point. Alexander-Arnold back for Ezri Konsa. Konsa's in a central position, not quite a shooting position. It's a great ball in from Saka, great ball to find him as well, and sliding in Hoskonen steers it away into the England fans behind that goal for yet another corner, 0-0.
Well, I'll tell you what, if Finland have done nothing else right tonight, they've managed to get first contact in and around their goal mouth, and they've done it once again there. Hoskonen, brilliant interception. What a ball by Konsa. Saka, great running behind. And just when Kane's waiting to tap it in the goal at the far post, the interception.
So that same signal given from Saka, the both arms are raised above the head. Kane makes his way forward. Gordon still stands by the goalkeeper. There are 3 around the penalty spot, all coming in to attack this now. In towards the near post, looking for a flick. Well, first contact from a Finnish player, and it's cleared by Storm. Comes back out towards Bukayo Saka again. He's dropped his shoulder, but couldn't take the ball with him as he did his best to get past Keskinen. Ball then played by Rico Lewis, back for Gomez. Gomez to Alexander-Arnold. Stops it with his first touch, rolls it forward with his second. Movement comes ahead of him from initially Gordon coming out to the right, and then from Rico Lewis. He's worked it back instead towards Gomez, but it's a step back to come immediately forward again. Gordon finding himself on the right flank just for a moment now. Different fullback to try and take on. Didn't try and take Uuranen on in the end, he just laid it back. Alexander-Arnold's got it. Good long diagonal from him. Rice coming in on the left-hand side of the penalty area. Konsa is still forward from that previous corner. Finland haven't got it away yet. Here's Lewis to Grealish. Grealish trying to find a way in. Couldn't get it in stride because it was nicked away from him by the retreating Peltola. And out of play for corner number 6.
Yeah, working really hard to try and create space. But I'll reiterate again, somebody in the front line has got to pin a defender and say, just shove it into my feet and come and join me. and you'll find that so much opens up if they do that.
76-24 the possession to England. Here, corner taken short. Saka with a shot, takes a deflection off Kamara, goes out of play for another corner. Corner count 7-1 in England's favour, but 76% possession, only one shot on target so far, and that is the principal problem that England is suffering with at the moment. Just got to retain an element of patience amongst the crowd and us as well as the England players. Usual 6-4 for this corner. Goes over Stones. Kane pulls it back. Saka taking in touch, going wide of the first defender, and then firing a left-footed shot past Keskinen, but over Radetzky's bar, out of play for a goal kick, and it remains 0-0 as we approach the final 10 minutes of the first half.
Yeah, Saka's done really well there, cut inside and opened up. Before the international break, Jim, I covered the Arsenal-Brighton game, and you had a couple of instances in the game where you think, just tidy your footwork up a little bit, from crosses, from free kicks, from corners. Well, as you say, we saw a loose shot there and a loose corner just prior to that.
Ball is out of play for a throw that will be taken on the Finnish right-hand side. They've never beaten England, lost 9 of the previous 11 games between the two, and the exceptions being a goalless draw in Helsinki, the last time the two sides met on Finnish soil. And the two sides will be meeting on Finnish soil again next month. The game is live for you, October the 13th, here on Talksport. England have got Greece here between now and then. That's October the 10th, a month tonight. Konsa finding himself on the right wing for a moment. The referee has pulled Keskinen up for a foul. Number 14 on the other there. And the free kick taken quickly. Rice out towards Lewis. Lewis towards Gordon. Gordon coming back inside, doesn't try and cross it this time, lays it back for Angel Gomez. Gomez just trying to clip it in. Kane had made a good run goal side of Hoskinen, but it was headed away. Comes back towards Saka. Saka with that trademark move onto his left foot, hoping to open up the angle. But Uren went with him every step of the way and deflected the shot to relative safety. Back it comes in again from Grealish, over the top of Kane. Got the top of his head to it. There was a push from Kane on Ivanov as he tried to attack that ball, and a free kick goes Finland's way inside their own penalty area. 35 gone. Elsewhere, the Czechs won, Ukraine won. The Dutch still leading Germany 1-0. Everything else is 0-0, including Ireland against Greece. Don't forget, Ali McCoist and Gabby Agbonlahor will be back on Talksport Breakfast tomorrow morning from 6 a.m. and giving you their opinions on what's happened tonight. And if you fancy something different on your morning commute, there's always the Chris Evans Breakfast Show, weekdays from 6:30 a.m. on Virgin Radio. And to listen to Virgin Radio, you can download the TalkSport app or the Virgin Radio app, or listen on DAB. Saka knocking the ball forward here. And Pukki, with a rare moment of possession for Finland inside England territory, takes it down towards the left-hand touchline. He's lost possession to Declan Rice. Rice toe poking it back towards his own corner flag. Alexander-Arnold had time to run round the ball and clear up towards halfway. Ivanov beating Kane to it. Hoskinen goes back to his goalkeeper, and Grealish urges his teammates to come and join him in the press. Play for by Radetzky, hurriedly again in towards Peltola's feet. Schuller is going to be able to bring it away. He's done well to be fit today, because he went off in first half injury time with a hamstring problem the other night, but has been able to play and so far show few ill effects of the problem that he had. Forced on the back foot just for a moment. The first of tonight's paper aeroplanes is lying now as detritus on the pitch, just about 6 yards outside the England box. Here's Konsa. Konsa to Angel Gomez. Gomez inside the centre circle, waiting for movement ahead of him. Rico Luz provides that. Back for Gomez. Gomez to his right. Konsa coming forward again. Every England player is within 20 yards of the edge of the area. Threaded in brilliantly for Kane's run. And Hoskonen again forced into a last-ditch interception, slides it away, and he goes out for yet another England corner. Their umpteenth of the night. Saka will come across to take it. You keep knocking at the door loud enough, sooner or later you're going to get an answer, I think.
Well, it was Hoskonen once again with a last-ditch sliding effort. They're just getting caught out, and he's just got there in time just to cut out. The doors are open eventually, and when they do, 2 or 3 will come.
In comes the corner from Saka, deep towards the far post where Kane was waiting, but again there's been a push. It was Lewis on Hoskonen this time, who's down on the edge of the 6-yard box. Hoskonen plays his club football in Poland. He scored an own goal against Scotland back in June. And his centre-half partner Ivanov plays in Germany with Eintracht Braunschweig. So not high-profile clubs for the two centre-halves, but at the moment they're repelling everything England can throw at them. Declan Rice has got it, and will bring it forward for England back into Finnish territory again. The rain continues to come down with ferocity. England continue to have the ball. That was a good run from Declan Rice, right-hand side of the penalty area, spinning Ivanov, and it took 2 to stop him, and even then all they could do was nudge him back outside the penalty area. Saka back in towards the feet of Kane. Kane will pirouette on the corner of the box. Play it back out towards Saka. Kane making a run down towards the dead ball line. By the time he got his right foot to that, I'm convinced he was over the line for a goal kick. And so was the assistant referee. He just clicked it back in. It might even have shaved the bar on its way back through the penalty area, but the cross came after it had gone out. And it's a goal kick that Radetzky would take, and it's looking increasingly likely that Finland might be able to get to half-time with a clean sheet intact.
Yeah, they might do. As I say, what will improve that is we had a situation there. We had Kane, Saka and Rice all in the point of the box here on the right-hand side. What certainly Saka needed, and Rice as well, was Harry Kane just to pin his defender and just say, look, I'm going to stand here, shove it into my feet and come and join me. He didn't do that. He's trying to get on the ball and help out and play, and what we need is someone to sort of, it's almost like a game of chess, Jim, you know, where you just take one of the opposition out that benefits the rest of the team.
Gomez knocking forward here for Grealish. England just for a moment forced back inside their own half, and well back inside their own half. Peltola putting the pressure on Grealish. Another thing that was noticeable from that game that Finland played against Greece the other night was that when they did press, if you could turn them over and get past that first line of press, then it was very easy to make quick and incisive headway upfield. They haven't been nearly as committed in trying to win the ball back high up from England as they were against Greece. It's really learning from their mistakes. Saka gets it out towards Gordon, nudged down the line for Rico Lewis, left-hand side of the penalty area. Grealish was waiting, but Saka actually took over, almost took it off his teammates' toes. He's got it again in front of that pocket of Finnish support. Back towards Grealish. Grealish level the left-hand edge of the penalty area, just trying to play a little give and go with Saka, who was waiting. But Stall is there to be able to clear. Lewis controls it, chests it down. He's under pressure from Pukki, and he's withstood that pressure quite beautifully. Pukki playing his club football out in the States now. He's at Minnesota United after that successful spell with Norwich. England bring it forward again. Saka just waiting to try and be able to clip the ball inside the penalty area. Almost guilty of overplaying it. Lewis urged to shoot. Goes square. Alexander-Arnold will shoot and fires it low across the ground past Radetzky, but probably 6-8 inches wide of the far post.
Yeah, unfortunate there. As I say, when it come out across the face of goal to Trent Alexander, he's hit it, and what he needed to do, just cut across it slightly, so he got a bit of curl on it, but sadly for England, it just went past the far post with a great angle just behind the ball. I think the goalie might have just got a finger to it, if I'm being honest. No, he didn't.
Well, it was close from Trent Alexander-Arnold to what would have been just his 4th international goal. Dennis Undav, the former Brighton strikers, equalised for Germany. It's 1-1 in their game with the Netherlands. Now Finland will be able to break. It's a nice touch from Keskinen. He will continue his run forward, but Jensen never really stood too much chance of being able to find him. Just Stone stood in his way and blocked it. He's gone out of play for a corner, but just for a moment, if they could have worked that effectively, it was 2 against 1.
Well, they probably had, I would have said, 3 or 4 decent chances where the ball's managed to break for them and off they've gone, and it's either been equal numbers or alternatively a player overload. But sadly for the Finns, they've struggled to find a pass and a clinical run.
Keskinen across to take this corner. Pukki's inside the 6-yard box. 4 making runs from deep for Keskinen's outswing. It was a really poor, low, flat delivery that Lewis could volley away. He'll come back for Uranen inside the centre circle. He finds Kamara, and Kamara goes back for his goalkeeper. Radetsky, 20 yards from the halfway line, just sliding one over the top. Alexander Arnold did well, craned the neck muscles and heads it away past Stall, and back to his goalkeeper Jordan Pickford, who bowls it out quickly, and Lewis gets it forward. And Stall's still out of position. The right back is A1. Gordon taking everybody on. Good challenge from Hoskinen again, who showed up really well the centre half at the heart of the Finnish back line. He slides that one out of play for a throw that is taken quickly by Rico Lewis. Stall made his way forward for the last corner. Couldn't get back in time. England exposed the space, but not quite effectively enough. Lewis has it now. Lewis rolling it forward, looking for Grealish, and then a challenge on the edge of the penalty area on Gomez gives England a free kick, 5-6 feet outside the penalty area. His momentum saw him fall in the box. He wasn't trying to play for that, and it was just his natural momentum as he continued his run forward, but the infringement was clearly out, and it is a free kick to England.
It certainly is. He's done brilliantly there, Gomez. I think for England he's been the standout player this evening. I think at the other end of the pitch, Hoskinen has made sure it stayed a clean sheet thus far.
Well, this is a good chance for him.
Well, we talked about free kicks and direct free kicks the whole summer. Now, if this isn't hit goalkeeper's side by Trent Alexander,
then you're what?
I'm going to drop my mic and walk out the stadium.
Okay.
Or offer my services as a free kick specialist.
Well, I'll see you on Saturday then, because he's going to go over the wall here. We'll see. There are 4 in the wall. There's 1 line down behind it. Alexander Arnold blasts it, and blasts it wide of the far post. England had just lined up a 3-man wall. I'm just waiting to see the replay. The angle was deceptive here. I'm delighted to say, Stuart Pearce, we've still got you for the second half.
I can't tell you how frustrated I am with free kicks. Honestly, all you've got to do is hit the target. The goalkeeper's edging for the one over the top of the wall. There's 3 players blocking the shot. 2 of them half got in the way in Stones and Rice. They should be pulling off to the right-hand side, not the left-hand side, where the players shooting the ball.
So that's, as we go into 1 minute of added time, that's a lack of communication, is it, from the players in that mini wall and Trent not knowing exactly where he's going?
Exactly that. They should know exactly what side of the goal he's going. If they're going up and down over the wall, them as blockers stand their ground, don't move. If he's going to go their side, goalkeeper side, open side, it's down to them to make sure that they move, but move in front of the opposition's wall, Jim.
Now, Pickford has come out and swept up quite beautifully. He's found Lewis. One last attack for England before half-time. Lewis to Grealish. The rain has abated. Alexander Arnold bringing it forward. Now on the right-hand side is Bukayo Saka. Saka curving it in, left-footed. Kane waiting for it. It's gone over his head, and Stall's going to get the touch to steer it away. Lewis will keep it in over on that left-hand side for England, and the referee will add just a few more seconds, but not enough, for England to get the ball back inside the box in the next phase of play. It's polite applause, really, at the end of the first half for England as they lead the field. There was a lot to get excited about. Very easy on the eye, but not a huge amount of cutting edge. Harry Kane had the ball in the net for what we thought might be a 67th international goal on his milestone appearance. It was correctly ruled out for offside, and that's the closest we've come to the deadlock being broken. Half-time, 0-0 Finland.
Yeah, pretty frustrating. Let's take a look at the half-time highlights. Thanks to Carling.
Half-time highlights on Talksport with Carling. 18 plus, always drink responsibly.
Well, Stuart Pearce, as the players make their way down the tunnel, I'm a little bit frustrated. You were frustrated with that free kick. Mrs. D has just sent me a message saying, so it wasn't Southgate's fault after all.
Who knew, eh?
I know where she's coming from. Listen, the thing is, when England play a team on paper, in the rankings or whatever, or when you look at the clubs their players play for, are so inferior, they tend to bank up, put players behind the ball. We've seen that in all the stats of the game so far, and it's really difficult to break down. Whoever's the manager, It could have been Terry Venables, could have been Sven, could have been Southgate. It's Lee Carsley. It's very difficult to break down. The players are better than what they're showing, though. It's up to them to come up with the quality, surely. They're having a lot of the ball.
Yeah, for 45 minutes, I think we set a good tempo to the game. We're moving it quite quickly. I've not been frustrated with us dawdling it around between centre-halves and holding midfield player. I think Gomez has been very, very good in what he's trying to achieve. Definitely good forward passes. I think if you're going to break them down, Aid, when that ball arrives in wide areas, the players in the middle of the pitch have got to get in between the goalposts and say, we need to overload the opposition here, and the ball needs to come in, number one. Secondly, and I've talked about it in the first half, when we're building up in this arc around 30 yards out, if you're on the ball, you need centre forwards or advanced players to pin their men, the back line, the two centre-halves, just pin them and say to the likes of Rice or Saka, shove it into my feet and just run straight at me. Now, what does that do? The defender has either got to cover the runner and drop off the person receiving the ball so he can turn, or if he stays on the man on the ball, you just loop off left or right and you get played in. So simple. But no one, it's not a part of the game that anyone's looking to do, and we need to do it to break them down.
Yeah, it feels like somebody has to be telling them that at half-time, but they should all be smart enough to work that out. It's a bit like the free kick, and I'm with you with your frustration with Trent's got to get it on target. He's got to force the keeper to do something, because there's a possibility the keeper might not be able to hold on to it, and therefore he either puts it out, we get a corner, or he puts it straight back out into the box and somebody can pounce. But they have to get it. They know where the goal is. These are really high-quality players. Trent is one of the most gifted with the ball at his feet, dead ball or whatever, has to hit the target. Is he trying to be too precise into the top corner?
The problem he's got is he's got a wall in front of him covering the blind side for the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper's on the right-hand side as Trent's looking. Trent has positioned 3 England players to block the goalkeeper's view. Now, those players should have the information from Trent. Trent should be saying to them, I'm going up and down over the wall to the goalkeeper's blind side, so stay where you are and do not move. That's if he's going up and down. If he's not going up and down, he should be saying to them, you need to move, but move in front of the wall. So as they're looking at Trent, they've got to go to their right. If you look at the replay of the free kick again, 1 went to the right, 2 went to their left, Stones and Rice. They're blocking. If he mishits it and it's low and it's under head height, they block the shot. Now that can't be right.
It looks brainless, but it's a lack of communication. Maybe that's
all it is.
Is it a lack of training ground time as well? You could possibly say that.
100%. It is. I mean, if Trent was taking at club level, Trent would be saying, like I did with various teammates, get out my way and go to your left. Get out my way, go to your right. You give them information, but you work on that time and time again, day in, day out.
And if you want evidence of that, the free kick Stuart Pearce scored in the 1991 FA Cup final, yeah?
One of many. Let's move on.
There are several examples. It's 0-0. Should I be this frustrated, Stuart, very quickly? Should I be this kind of... I'm not bored, I'm not angry, I'm just a little bit frustrated because they're better than what they're showing.
Aid, in all honesty, you turn up to Wembley frustrated, and I think there's something in your personal life, and I can't put my finger on it at the moment, but give me another 45 minutes and I'll get it out of you. Yes, you should, because we haven't scored yet, and we're expecting to score 3 or 4 goals. And this is part of the game that we've got to improve on. When teams bank up behind the ball in the last third, what do we have to do? It might be a free kick work better that hits the back of the net. It might be, oh, hang on, I need to put a cross in the box. It might be, I'm the midfield player, I've got to make the box when the ball's going out wide. All of those things. But you don't have a lot of time to work with these players, it's fair to say.
I think I need some chocolate, so we'll sort that out. Thanks, Stu. Need some attacking football in the second half as well. That's all thanks to Carling, 18+. Please drink responsibly.
Half-time highlights on Talksport with Carling. 18+, always drink responsibly.
You must remember the keeper, Antti Niemi, on the Finland staff tonight, got up from his seats on the bench here at Wembley. I was instantly reminded of that magical clip on Talksport. He's not finished, he's only 28. He's actually 52 now. Yeah, how old are you feeling now? Hawksby and Jacobs, clips of the week, back at 3:30 Friday afternoon on Talksport, and loads of previous episodes of Clips of the Week available as podcasts on the Talksport app, which is free to download. It's easy to use as well, and you can get that where you get your apps. It is goalless here at Wembley as England take on Finland. You're listening to Kickoff on Talksport with Ladbrokes. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Kick-off on Talksport with Ladbrokes. Get money back as a free bet up to £10 if one leg of your Football 5 Plus acca lets you down. Pre-match straight line accas only. Odds are 3-1 or greater. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
The Big Wicks event is now on. From tiles to flooring, doors, kitchens, bathrooms and more, we have everything you need to help you start your next home improvement project. Shop the Big Wicks event in-store and online now.
At BetMGM, we know how to put on a show. That's why they got me, Chris Rock, to tell you about BetMGM's golden offers. Sign up to BetMGM, bet £10, and get £40 in free bets. We're making every game an occasion. Get ready for the golden era in sports betting. BetMGM. It's showtime.
New customers only. Wagering requirements and conditions apply. 18 plus. Please gamble responsibly.
Jump into electric with a new offer from Skoda. Jump into a fully electric Skoda Enyaq. Jump into days out with family. Jump into a boot with room for all the gear. And then jump into bed, absolutely shattered, with a good cuppa. Jump into electric with £2,000 towards your finance deposit on a new Skoda Enyaq, as well as 0% APR with Solutions PCP. Visit skoda.co.uk or your local retailer. T's and C's apply. Ordered by 20th of September, maximum 36-month term. Indemnities may be required. Skoda Financial Services.
Do you belong here? Next to me, about to jump into the sea on an army coast-steering expedition. What's your gut saying? Walk away from the edge? Or jump in and join a team that'll be by your side for life? Still listening? You belong here. Army, recruiting now. Search Army jobs.
This is a Ladbuck, the new way to get rewarded from Ladbrokes. And these are the 100 million Ladbucks we'll be dropping for free at Ladbrokes every week. Collect them on our daily free-to-play games to choose rewards like free spins and free bets. Plus, you can even use them to play your favourites for free in our Ladbucks arcade, like Fishing Frenzy and Gold Strike. Ready to start collecting? Play for free at Ladbrokes to get your rewards. 18 plus. Ladbucks expire. Minimum 10 Ladbucks to play in the arcade. No cash equivalent. Full T's and C's apply. BeGambleAware.org.
We've got it at Selco. Selco, it's where the trade goes.
At Selco Builders Warehouse, we've got real deals on a great range of building products. This month, we've got 600 by 600mm Carver Quartz Porcelain paving for only £24 per square metre ex VAT. And with free delivery, that's a real deal. Find more real deals online at selcobw.com.
We've got it at Selco. Selco, it's where the trade goes.
That charged at 20%. Free delivery within local delivery areas.
Coverage of the UEFA Nations League live on Talksport with Carling. 18 plus, always drink responsibly. Straightforward, straight talking, and straight to the point.
What a challenge!
Kick-off international special on Talksport.
Run down some of the other scores in just a moment, but here at Wembley, it's England 0, Finland 0, despite the fact that England have bossed pretty much everything. Let's get the half-time odds with Ladbrokes.
Odds update on Talksport with Ladbrokes. Get money back as a free bet up to £10 if one leg of your Football 5 Plus acca lets you down. Pre-match straight line accas only. Odds are 3-1 or greater. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
And England are 4-1 on to win. The draw is 18-5. Finland are 20-1 to win. They've had a couple of chances on the break, though. Harry Kane to score a header was 6-1. It's been price boosted to 7-1. Bukayo Saka to score any time was 21-10. It's now 3-1. That's the latest odds with Ladbrokes. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Odds update on Talksport with Ladbrokes. Supercharge your odds with our Odds Boost button. Selected markets applies to first £50 of stake. Terms apply. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Into the area, shoots! Oh, what a goal! What a wonderful goal from Marcus Rashford!
If he doesn't do it this season, that's now 2 years without doing it. So how long do you actually give him before you go, enough's enough?
I think there's so much pressure on Man United now to go and win. that they think they have to win everything.
You wonder what is round the corner for Erik ten Hag.
Brentford 3, Southampton 1.
They will go down if they carry on like this. He needs to tweak it somehow.
It's got us this far. The positives far outweigh the negatives for me. Just in this league, you get punished a bit more.
West Ham 1, Erling Haaland 3. Another Erling Haaland hat-trick.
Brentford may just have stolen all 3 points at the Etihad Stadium. What a break from the Bees.
Onto Ouattara, back onto his right foot. Ouattara for Bournemouth. Can you believe it?
In my expectation, I think we are ahead. The direction is the right one. We need just to continue.
Back to Palmer. He shoots. What a goal! It's fantastic. It's Cole Palmer.
Game day's back, 11 a.m. on Saturday. Rashmin Chowdhury will be at St Mary's with Stuart Pearce, no less. Southampton against Manchester United is the 12:30 kick-off, the build-up from the award-winning game day team, 11 a.m. 2:30-ish onwards, I will bring you the goals as they go in. I'll be at Liverpool against Nottingham Forest. I'll be there with Darren Bent, actually. Troy Deeney, Mickey Gray, part of the team. As what a team we've got on Saturday afternoon on Talksport for game day live around the grounds with all the goals as they go in. On Talksport 2 at the same time, Man City, Brentford's not on TV in the UK. Live commentary of that. And I've got a big one on Saturday night. Bournemouth take on Chelsea. It's an extra for you, live and exclusive and only on Talksport. And before all that, Friday night, Hull Sheffield Wednesday in the Championship live commentary exclusive on Talksport 2. Hugh Wisencroft, your host for that one. Let me bring you some of the scores, Some of the scores, the rounds tonight in the UEFA Nations League. In England's group, it's Ireland 0, Greece 0 at half-time. Elsewhere, Netherlands 1, Germany 2. Joshua Kimmich on half-time put in the Germans in front. They were trailing in that game. And National League half-times, Barnet 1, Altrincham 1, Boston 1, Hartlepool 0, Dagenham 1, Sutton 0, Ebbsfleet, bottom of the table 0, Aldershot 0, Forest Green 1, Fylde 0, Halifax 0, Oldham 0, Rochdale 2, Maidenhead 0, Southend 2, Eastleigh 0, Woking 1, Wealdstone 0. We have a Woking fan and a Wealdstone fan on the Talksport team tonight. It's tense. I'm standing right between the two of them, and it's a good job I'm here as well. Yeovil 0, Solihull Moors 1, and York City 2, Braintree Town 1. The Finland players just coming out for the second half. England had 77.3% possession, had 8 efforts to Finland's 2. England had 2 on target, none for Finland, but they were a minor threat on the break. And back in 2010, Sir Alex Ferguson introduced a new rule at the Man United Academy. Only black boots allowed for the young players at the time. A 10-year-old boy living in Salford had been with the United Academy already for 4 years by then, and Fergie's new rule clearly made a huge impact on Angel Gomez. Because while every England player is wearing different colour boots tonight, the captain's boots are actually gold. Angel Gomez is wearing black boots on his England Wembley debut. Brilliant. Old school football, black boots. Old school England, a little bit frustrating. It is. England 0, Finland 0, half-time in the Nations League on Talksport in the second half, coming your way with the former England captain, former World Cup semi-finalist and European Championship semi-finalist Stuart Pearce, alongside your England commentator on Talksport. Here's Jim Proudfoot.
Adrian, thank you. Well, we were speculating about exactly how long Teemu Pukki was going to last leading the line. The answer to that, 45 minutes. He's being replaced at half-time by Chelman, the Cracovia striker. 3 league goals for him already this season, although he scored an own goal against Greece the other night. He's going to come on and lead the line. They're also making a swap at left-back. Uranen has come off, and he's been replaced by Ilmari Niskanen, who's made 40 appearances for Exeter after a couple of years at Dundee United. So England playing against a League One defender in this second half. England unchanged, get the second half underway. Pickford goal, Alexander-Arnold, Stones, Coulter and Lewis. Rice, Gomez, Grealish, Saka, Kane and Gordon. And Finland kicking from left to right in this second half as the rain picks up again. Just putting a little bit of pressure on Trent Alexander-Arnold here. And he'll take it out towards the right-hand touchline, where the ball has been laid off by Saka. And through the midfield towards Declan Rice. Stuart Pearce still with us. Stuart, are you surprised that there are no changes at this juncture, or is that pretty much what you expected, bearing in mind that he waited until 77 minutes before he made his first the other night?
Yeah, I was pleased, I've got to say, on Saturday that we didn't make changes. And tonight, I think on about the 60-minute mark, I think Madueke will certainly will be coming on, I would suspect. looking down the list as well. Probably, maybe even Eza and probably Gibbs White as well. Whether he'll have a little look at Livramento at one of the fullback positions.
Oh, well, that might be sooner rather than later, because Trent has picked up a knock. He's going to continue his run forward here. Grealish has found him. Ball inside the penalty area, misses everybody. It was closest to Rice. He sails out for a throw that'll be taken on this near side. I don't think it's anything serious for Trent. He just picked up a slight bang in the opening seconds of this half. He's just limping for a few moments, but he's not indicating that he needs any medical attention. And play continues with a Finnish throw. Finland lining up Radetzky in goal. Stahl, Hoskonen, who's impressed, Ivanov and Niskanen, and Peltola and Schuler, Jensen, Kamara and Keskinen, and Shellman up front. Ball is with John Stones. To his right-hand side, Esri Konsa. Konsa with another long diagonal ball forward inside the penalty area, trying to get Grealish goal side of Stahl. And then there's a coming together with Gomez and Schuller, which has left the Finland player on the deck. It's going to be a free kick that they will take about 10 yards outside their own penalty area. 0-0. England have to make sure that they don't put themselves in a position where they, were they to concede, but just see everybody get a little bit nervous. It's a long time since England had back-to-back home defeats. We have to make sure that it doesn't happen tonight. Finland with a long free kick towards the edge of the penalty area, and Konsa gets it away. Some breaking news, incidentally. Man City's Nefanake stretched it off for the Dutch tonight just before half-time with what looks like a serious injury. And so it seems very unlikely he'll be involved for City against Brentford, live on Talksport 2 from 3 on Saturday afternoon. We'll keep an eye on that for you. Here's Anthony Gordon, left-hand side of the penalty area, back to Grealish. A flick round the corner. Grealish across the edge of the 6-yard box. Kane couldn't get there in time. Ivanov knocked it away. And now Rice finds Gordon. England have got a player down injured. It's Esri Konsa, about 5 or 6 yards outside his own penalty area. And Rice is seeing that now, stops. And puts the ball out of play so that Konsa can receive some treatment. And the England medical staff will go across to attend to Konsa, who is lying on his side just outside the 6-yard box, and he looks in a great degree of pain. This does not look good. You're seeing a replay as he tried to turn and bring the ball away. He was caught in the back of the Achilles and then given a little shove on the way out of the penalty area as well, man.
Yeah, he certainly was. He was just caught. I don't know whether he's rolled his ankle or his knee. I don't know what it is, but he looks in a lot of discomfort, and his teammates have identified that as well. And normally they know straight away.
Yeah, Jordan Pickford indicated straight away to the bench that he felt that perhaps a substitution should be made. As Villa in Champions League action coming up next week. They're away at Young Boys Bend is where they start, and that's a game that you will hear live on Talksport 2 Tuesday night, 5:45. Less than a week till Villa back in Europe's Premier competition. That's part of a double bill of action that night. We're also on Wednesday, after the Milan-Liverpool game on the Tuesday, on Wednesday, it's Manchester City against Inter, and that is live here on Talksport at 8 o'clock next Wednesday. So much live European football coming up for you. And Arsenal in action against Atalanta Thursday. And it's another game that we will be bringing you. The new look Champions League, I think, is going to be spectacular. And we will be bringing you every kick that counts over the course of an absorbing maiden season of Champions League football in this format. Play's going to restart with a drop ball. Konsa has been led away. He's over on the far side, always a good sign when an injured player gets taken off on the far side of the pitch. The dugouts are on the near side, so that suggests that they think he's going to be okay, will be able to continue. And whilst play restarts, Konsa just trotting up and down the touchline over on the far side with a little bit more speed every time that he does a repetition, so I think he's going to be okay. He's just waiting for the signal to come back on. England, meanwhile, in possession, right in front of us with Anthony Gordon, still 0-0 here Gordon to Grealish into a central area, and he's flighted one out towards the far side. Saka can control it and does so on his upper chest. Has done well to bring the ball down. Played forward into the feet of Angel Gomez by Alexander-Arnold. Rice has got it. Konsa back on. Gomez just twisting and turning. Alexander-Arnold made a good early run for him. He's gone out towards Saka instead. Back towards the right-hand side. Fighting inside the area. Headed away by Storr before he got to Gordon. Out towards Rico Lewis. Lewis to Gomez. The angle of the pass to Gomez forced him to go back for Stones. He can play forward, though, to his Manchester City teammate Jack Grealish. Grealish now to Anthony Gordon. To Grealish again. 15 yards outside the penalty area. To Alexander-Arnold once more. England maintaining a level of patience essential against the side banked up behind the ball as Finland are. Kane trying to take the ball on the turn, couldn't bulldoze his way through. He had Grealish in close quarters but couldn't find him either. Konsa now steps up from the defensive line. His first contribution since that injury. He looks okay. Lewis has got it. Gordon to his left. Grealish further ahead of him. Picked up Jack Grealish. Good reverse ball. Harry Kane tight angle across the edge of the 6-yard box. Half cleared. Would have gone out of play for a goal kick. One of the defenders kept it in. Gordon to Grealish, who's brought down into the box. Play goes on. Alexander-Arnold, right-footed ball comes in. Tipped away by the goalkeeper for what would have been a corner, but the referee says no advantage, and he's pulled it back, and it's a free kick to England in the D, just slightly left of centre.
Well, once again, if we don't hit the target here, I'm definitely going home. It's finished. I'm done. My work is done here. Good play by England. Took their time, moved it, ended up coming out to Grealish on the edge of the box. He moved it to his right, and then he sort of, I think he was quite cute. He's moved the ball, and just for an insurance policy, just went to ground and initiated a little bit of contact.
So Finland again line up a 4-man wall with a 5th player lying down in the draft excluded position behind him. The other 5 outfield players are all back inside the penalty area, as you'd expect. Radetzky won't be able to see an awful lot. There are 2 England players standing past the wall. Kane takes the free kick, and he's rifled it through the gap left by the 2 England players who got out of the way. Still down the middle of the goal, Radetzky got his body behind it and made the save.
Brilliant. You can't ask for any more there. As I say, he's hit the target, he's gone round the wall. England players moved out the way, and the goalkeeper's got to make an outstanding save with not much reaction time.
Which, to Radetzky's credit, he could do. Alexander-Arnold now chipping it in. Kane was waiting, he was poised. He was diverted out of his flight path by Ivanov, and out of play for a throw that's been taken by Gordon. And Peltola trying to wire into a challenge on Angel Gomez, who saw him coming and just nudged it past him. And England working back out towards Alexander-Arnold, in to Rice. Rice with a shot on the turn. He's blocked. Kane tries to pick it up. Ivanov needed time for a second touch to get it away. Just about had it. Back in from Trent again. Grealish threw himself at it. Hoskonen heads that one away.
You've got to say the Finnish defenders are just getting last touches and flicks on everything at this moment in time.
Grealish with a little reverse ball. Kamara gets it away. If you're a Finland supporter watching this, you would be feeling now it's just a matter of time. We're living on our nerves and indulging in a little bit of luck at the same time. But then they had a spell very early in the first half that was like that, and they got themselves out of it very ably. Hoskonen stepping up to the plate for them. Denzel Dumfries has equalised for the Dutch 2-2 in that game in Amsterdam between the Netherlands and Germany. The Czechs leading Ukraine 2-1. Malta a goal up in Andorra. North Macedonia, Armenia 0-0. The Macedonians down to 10. Everything else is 0-0, 11 against 11, including the other game in this group between the Irish and the Greeks in Dublin. Finland are in possession in England territory for a moment, but not for long. Hoskonen forced to go back inside his own half, finds Peltola, and he will go all the way back to his goalkeeper. Radetzky gets it for 95th cap for him tonight. A Slovakian-born keeper whose international career is longer than Harry Kane's in terms of longevity, if not caps. Here's Stones, now play towards Gomez. Gomez is inside the centre circle. Greece have just taken the lead in Ireland in the other game in this group, so extending their advantage at the top of the group as things stand at the moment. It's Greece 6, England 4, Finland 1, Ireland 0. It's the points tally in this group as things stand right now, with Greece leading by a goal to nil. This one is 0-0. Lewis. There's a chatter, a murmur in the crowd rather than active vociferous support, and I think that's a byproduct really of the fact that England are continuing just to knock their head against a brick wall at the moment.
Yeah, we are. As I say, it's been quite frustrating. They've just got little touches there, but now we've got an opportunity. Here we go.
Rice to Kane, to Grealish, to Gordon, and straight at the goalkeeper. Radetzky saves with his chest, comes back out for Gordon again, chipped inside the penalty area. First header from Ivanov, Kane, overhead kick, saved by Radetzky, and then cleared by Stall. Well, what a way that would have been to mark his 100th game for his country.
Well, it was an awful clearance with a Finnish defender, and it just fell to Harry Kane, the edge of the 6-yard, and a hitch kick over his head. Goalkeeper once again equal to it.
England bringing forward once more. Now it's Kane, edge of the penalty area, goes alone and scores. It's a wonderful moment for a wonderful player. And he becomes only the second England international of all time to score in both his first and 100th games for his country, emulating the great Sir Bobby Charlton. Harry Kane gives England the lead. The kind of predatory finish we've seen so many times over the course of his international career. The deadlock finally broken by a masterful moment from a quite masterful striker.
Well, there's a few special moments in football, and I think we're witness to one of them now. Fantastic, 100th game. He's hit that with a modicum of violence that flew past the goalkeeper. Finland trying to play out, lost it, great ball into feet, and he created the space for himself on the edge of the box, moved it onto his favoured right foot, and just hit it near enough, straight above the goalkeeper's head, underside of the bar. 1-0 England.
Goal number 67 for his country in 100 games. It's only the 4th Nations League goal, only the 2nd from open play that he's ever scored. England needed that. It was a great moment though. And if he's going to score one tonight, you wouldn't want it to be a tapping. You'd want it to be a goal that was in contention for one of the better ones that he scored. It certainly was that. Lovely little drop of the shoulder onto his right foot. And then fired past the goalkeeper. It's the pace that beat Radetzky. And straight in off the underside of the bar to give England a thoroughly merited lead. England 1, Finland 0. Harry Kane on 57 minutes.
Yeah, I've got a feeling, I hope I'm not wrong on this, but I think the floodgates might open slightly now. Finland got nothing to hang on to. They're going to have to come out slightly if they want something out of the game.
Rico Lewis lays the ball back. It's shipped over the top for Anthony Gordon. Gordon on the left-hand side of the penalty area, working it in. Rico Lewis stabs it with the outside of his right boot, but wide, and it could have been 2 in 2 minutes.
And it should have been, to be fair. Gordon's done brilliant there. He's opened up the goal, he's hit it. And I'm being a bit hard on Rico Lewis. He's took a touch, it's bouncing up. I think he's got to take another touch and be a bit more precise in his finish. He snatched at it outside of the foot.
Well, he's a player that's never scored for his country. That's understandable, bearing in mind how few miles he's got on the clock. He's only got a couple of Premier League goals to his name. But that was a chance for him. Now, this doesn't look good for Ezri Konsa, who was back down again inside the centre circle. Just an exacerbation of that earlier problem. He's being led off towards the near touchline this time. And I think that might be the end of Ezri's night.
I've got to say, Jim, I'm not sure how you go down so long and look in so much discomfort, then come back on the pitch to start with, and then all of a sudden, 10 minutes later, you're coming off the pitch. I think it would have been a wiser move at this stage to actually make his own mind up and make a substitution from the offset there.
So he's off, and Colwell's going to come on to replace him. So Colwell, who made his competitive debut in Ireland, also capped against Australia 11 months ago, and he comes on for his third England appearance. And they were playing at centre-half on the left of the two. Stones goes to the right. So England making the change. They have the lead. You're listening to coverage of England against Finland in the UEFA Nations League with Carly. 18 plus. Always drink responsibly. England again with great play. Gomez setting up Kane. Gordon will take it on inside the penalty area, and it's knocked away by Schuller. That was another example of Finland not being able to stand England's press. And again, it was that man Angel Gomez that led it and won it back.
Yeah, it was a super challenge by Gomez. Just read the play, got in front of the Finnish midfield player, and I've got to say, Harry Kane's got to be a bit more unselfish there. He should have been rolling Saka in.
Everything seems to be an audition for the future, to be part of what's going on for England going into the World Cup. That being the case, Gomez has done himself no end of favours with a couple of impressive performances over the last 3 days.
Well, what it's done, Jim, we've got a manager that knows the setup underneath the senior team, and his knowledge of that and his confidence in this boy Gomez has enabled him to pick him, and more importantly, I think he's been England's best player by far tonight.
A chance for Finland to make another change. There's going to be a straight swap on the right wing. As Freddie Jensen is going to come off, and he will be replaced by Robin Lode, another player who plays his club football in MLS with Minnesota. He's played more than 100 games in the States with nearly 30 goals. He's got the odd international goal as well. He'll come on as a right winger, a playmaker, the number 8. So Lode for Jensen. And that's the third Finnish change. England have made the one, enforced by that injury to Ezri Konsa. They have the lead now with that goal for Harry Kane, which incidentally is his 16th in his last 22 games for England, and his 61st in his last 74 starts. More goals for England than anyone else, more goals as England captain than anyone else, and another to add to that particular tally as well this season. England over on the far side with Rice. Kane is back in there battling. Lode actually was able to turn the ball away from Declan Rice. Colwell knocks it forward though. Kane dropping deep, able to pick up possession, will bring it forward again. And then just in the nick of time as Lode comes back goal side, he pirouettes and neatly gets it, and then threads a beautiful ball forward for Gordon, and he'll try his luck. The ball taking a little spiteful bounce off the zippy playing surface, but Tedeschi got his body behind it and made the save. It's 1-0, 63 gone. Here's England legend Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, I think the game at this moment in time from England's point of view probably needs 2 or 3 subs, and I think that time should get near now. I think maybe some fresh legs at this stage, certainly in the advanced areas, would certainly give us a touch of a lift to push on and probably get a scoreline that we were hoping for.
Lode, Kamara, Hoskonen, Paltala, Finland spraying the passes around. It's a great ball out to the left-hand side for Niskanen, played forward by the Exeter City man. And Stones mops up, puts it out for a throw. That'll be taken by the Finnish left-back over on the far touchline. So Greece leading in Ireland by a golden nil. England leading here at Wembley by a golden nil. So it's still as you were. Greece 6, England 6 at the top of the table. Greece top on goal difference at the moment. And England face Greece next. And that one is live a month tonight, October 10, here on Talksport. England will be making more changes in a moment, and we're going to see another international debut. Noni Madueke, who won 19 caps for the 21s under Lee Carsley and scored 7 goals in that time. And he's going to be coming on. Berici Eze will be coming on as well, part of a double change imminent. Ashley Cole just embraces the pair of them. A slightly longer hug for Madueke, such a special moment for him, and he'll be coming on very soon for his debut. Finland take this free kick. It was a poor one, easily knocked away. Alexander-Arnold fielded it out towards Gordon. Oh, that's cynical. He's just been pulled down almost round the neck by Schuller. And that's the easiest yellow card that Morten Krüger is going to have to give all season.
Well, to be fair, I might give him a shout and see if he fancies a game, Schuller, for Warrington Wolves this weekend. We're at Huddersfield, so we're tackling like that.
Just a little bit high. Saka's coming off, Madueke on for him, and Gordon's coming off. Eze will be his replacement. So 2 straight swaps on the wings for England. And great to see Noni Madueke coming on. Player with more than 50 games in the top flight in the Netherlands before making his Premier League debut. Hat-trick already in the Premier League for him this season at Wolves. 6 goals in 6 games for the under-21s last season, and he's a popular addition to the roster of England's 4 internationals. He makes his way on. Harry Kane just has a little word with him as he comes past. And Eza is on the left, Madueke on the right. So your thoughts on the 2 men that have come off, Stu, Saka and Gordon?
Well, I think they've been reasonable tonight, I've got to say. I think they've had decent games, received the ball well out wide. Delivery into the box, probably from Saka's point, and maybe on occasion for Gordon could have been slightly better if I'm nitpicking, but I think it would have helped him if, as I said, someone sort of just showing the feet so they could bounce off and play little 1-2s.
Oh, that's great play by Eza. Good pirouette from him. Grealish, left-hand side of the area, pulling it back, knocked away. Only as far as Alexander-Arnold. Left-footed scoop forward. Madueke did well. Recycles it, right-hand side of the penalty area. Twists. Gets it onto his left foot, then comes again back onto his left, and a third time. Now he gets the shot in, couple of deflections, but the second one took the pace out of it, and Radetzky was able to adjust and dive the other way to make a save. 1-0 England.
Yeah, but as soon as Madueke picked the ball up, you could tell he's looking to work something on that left foot, and he managed to get the shot away, but the Finnish back line were up to him and just stifled the shot. I think both wide players have had a couple of good games. I've got to say, Jim, over both in Ireland and this game, I think they've been pretty reasonable.
I think Gordon's done enough to cement his place as first choice left winger. Good ball forward here. Eza onside off Radetzky. Just as Eza tried to get it past him, stuck out a right hand, he was able to claw the ball away from the Crystal Palace man to prevent him from adding to Kane's goal. 1-0 it remains. The chances coming with a regularity. You said you felt that once the deadlock was broken, the floodgates might open. And every time England push forward now, they're causing an increasing number of problems.
Yeah, they are, but we've just managed to it's either been a Finnish defender just getting a touch on it, or as we saw there, Eza got a great first touch and then just couldn't manufacture his second touch to beat the goalie.
Stones. Madueke keeping the width on the England right. Rice is lurking with intent around the edge of the penalty area. Kane near the penalty spot. Eza unmarked at the far post. England work it back through the midfield to Gomez. Now Colwell to Lewis. 2 youngsters in the England back line do well under pressure. Stones can feed Trent Alexander-Arnold out on the England right-hand side. And then Gomez with 3 players coming to meet him just flick the ball away from them all with impudent ease. Now Colwell, his long-ranging stride, can bring the ball forward and find Eza. Controls it with his first touch, flicks it down the line for his second. Great movement from Jack Grealish. There's a good understanding and cohesion amongst the England forward players. Great movement and incisive, dynamic runs that are being made. Even though it's just the 1 goal so far, just the 3 in the 2 games that England have had against what has to be said relatively limited opposition. The signs certainly are bright. Gomez down towards Eza. Eza faced up by Storm, getting away from Lowe. Right-footed, clipped in. Madueke coming around the back. Kane threw himself at it, and it's hit the defender Niskanen, but I think there was a push anyway, maybe a handball potentially in there, but the referee's given a free kick Finland's way anyway.
Yeah, I think he's gone with a push on the back there, but I've got to say Eza's come in, he's darted off the line, dropped the ball. You're thinking, no, he's not got it at his feet to put it in the box, and he put a super ball into the far post. Both Madueke and Kane coming in on the far post.
Radetzky's clearance headed on by Eza to Grealish. Down the line from him to Kane. There's space in the middle. Rice is making a great run forward. Kane struggled to get the ball out from underneath his feet. He had Ivanov with him. England have still got it. Gomez can bring it forward. He deserves a goal for the industrious performance that he's given tonight on his full international debut. He's gone back for Rice to Colwell. Now out towards Kane. Lewis showing for the ball. patterns of play for England, much less regimented now than they were last season. That extra fluidity makes them slightly easier to watch and slightly more effective. Rice, Lewis, left-hand side of the penalty area here for Grealish. Grealish drags the ball back outside the box now, ventures forward again. Just checks as it looks as though he's going to deliver a cross. Lays it back outside the penalty area eventually for Colwell. Colwell to Stones. Stones out towards Alexander-Arnold. 4 to try and hit inside the penalty area, but Hoskonen is there to mop up as he's done so many times. Out towards Trent Alexander-Arnold. Juggles with the ball on his thigh for a moment. Gomez takes it on. Back from him to Colwell. Referee takes evasive action as the ball is played in towards Rice. Ezra's got it. Ezra on the edge of the penalty area. Back outside the box again. Still maintaining this patient approach. Trying to add a little bit of potency to the patience in the 20 minutes or so that remain. Shellman losing out. Put it back again with Alexander-Arnold. 1-0 it remains with Harry Kane's goal 15 minutes ago. Alexander-Arnold back out towards Noni Madueke, and a chance now for him to run at Niskanen. Good quick feet from Madueke. He was hoping that he could find Alexander-Arnold outside, and when he couldn't, he just took over and had another go himself. Niskanen eventually is able to get back and into a decent position to clear. Gets it away. Can't get it off the island, and England will come again with Alexander-Arnold. 1-0. Live on Talksport. Rice. Down towards Jack Grealish. Very interested to hear your views of this England performance, and of course you can react with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy, giving you the chance to have your say on this game and all the night's football as well. Faye Carruthers will be bringing you all the reaction from the tunnel here from Lee Carsley, I'm sure from Harry Kane as well, the headline makers. You can have your say on 03717223344. It's the number to call. Ball over on the England right-hand side, fired in now. Eza coming around the back, and he's volleyed it over the bar and wide of the near post.
Yeah, it'll be one of those, if the scoreline doesn't get accelerated from here in any way, shape or form, there'll be a little bit of frustration there. I think the overall performance has not been bad. We've created good chances, and I think credit to the Finnish backline, have done extremely well on occasion, just getting little nicks and blocks in the way. Goalkeepers stopped a few, but I think we're still that age-old problem a little bit, Jim, that we've not broke teams down readily.
There have been games where England have needed just that little moment of inspiration. They've needed something special. We saw that throughout the Euros, of course, and had some really special moments. And it's been a special moment that has got England ahead in this one as well. As I say, it'll be very interesting to hear your reaction and what you've made of it. Listening tonight, 03717223344. It's going to make for a fascinating journey home for me here from Wembley. Back to the sticks tonight. North Macedonia down to 10 men. They lead Armenia by a goal to 0. Andorra 0, Malta 1 is still the score in League D. And Albania 0, Georgia 1 in one of the other League B games. As Rice brings the ball forward, finds Grealish, Eza to his left-hand side. He tried to weight the ball perfectly. In the end, he just waited too long. And Eza couldn't get a shot in. Gomez can feed Eza. Eza can get a shot in the second time of asking, but he couldn't get the whip as he tried to curl it inside the far post. Started it too wide and it's drifted innocuously wide. It remains 1-0. We've got 16 to go.
Yeah, you spoke about that little bit of cutting edge, and there it was. Jack Grealish, defender facing him up just to his left-hand side. Eza's saying, just roll me in, just give me a decent pass, and he's just left it short.
Stats now 19 shots to 2 in England's favour, but the fact that the XG is still significantly less than 2 shows that those 19 shots haven't necessarily been real clear-cut chances. I think England's winning goal certainly is not going to have a high XG. It was a difficult chance that Kane put away. That's in contrast to the other night where the XG was just a shade under 4 for the 2 goals that England scored. And here's Jack Grealish again. Long crossfield ball from Grealish. We're delighted to be given an opportunity again in an international shirt. Good ball, Madueke. Kane! That's his second. Just pulled back by Noni Madueke. And Kane running onto it, rifled it into the bottom left-hand corner. It is 2 for the captain. He's on a hat-trick in game number 100. England 2, Finland 0.
It's fair to say, I think that hat-trick will be coming. There's no doubt, unless he gets taken off for any reason. There's every chance that he'll get the hat-trick tonight. But great play by England, really good play. Played it quickly. Madueke once again received it, set it off and went. Spun behind the back line. And it was him who created everything. But what a finish. I've got to say, pulled back across the face of goal. And the cleanest of strikes.
Goal number 68 in game number 100. Now, Jared Bowen is coming to the edge of the technical area. He's going to be coming on in a moment. It's going to be an unpopular decision if number 9 comes up on the board here. Fourth official, Mikel Reda, has the numbers board in his hand. England aren't going to make the change precisely yet. Could be Bowen for Grealish, maybe. We'll find out together in a moment. Play restarts. Finland with the kickoff. Still kicking from left to right in there, all blue, finding themselves 2 goals down. And yet another country that Harry Kane has scored against. Scored against the vast majority of nations that he's faced. This is the first time he's ever played against Finland. Stones able to bring the ball forward here. And he's inside the centre circle as he just flicks it to his right-hand side for Declan Rice. Gomez. It's going to be a man with a cold heart that would stop Harry Kane being the man of the match tonight, bearing in mind that England lead 2-0 and he's got both the goals, but Angel Gomez might take a couple of moral victories.
Well, as you know, I have a cold heart. You've asked the question and I'll give an honest assessment.
That's where I was going with that. The ball plays straight through the middle from Pickford. Out comes Radetsky, knocks it away. Looked as though, just for a moment, even off his centre half, is going to turn it past him. England have got it again. Kane. Adrian urging him to shoot. He had it inside his own half. Instead, he's played a lovely lofted ball out towards Madueke, right side of the area. Could be 3 in a moment. His first shot's deflected. Second one pulled back. It's Rico Lewis coming around the back. Sets up Eza, who couldn't get any purchase in the shot through a very congested 6-yard box. And Hoskinen's there to clear.
Yeah, it was good set-up play by Kane there, but Madueke, who's looked very impressive since he's come on. Runs with the ball, runs without it. He's a real handful for a fullback.
Bowen and Gahey will be the change. It's going to be a double for England. Grealish almost getting it through for Eza's run. The sliding challenge stopped it, and Stall clears, and I think England now will be able to make the change. Are they going to do it now? Everything has stopped for a moment. Lee Carsley's got the ball in his hand and he's not giving it to one of his players to take the throw, so the change is going to be made. Gahey for Stones, the first one.
Yeah, I think Harry Kane will be coming off. He's hovering around the technical area here, as we thought.
And it is Harry Kane who will make way. And not for the first time in his England career. He leaves the field to a standing ovation, but this not for what he's achieved tonight over 80 minutes, but what he's achieved over a 9.5-year international career that's brought him 100 caps and now 68 goals for his country. Kane off. There will be no symbolic hat-trick and record-equaling hat-trick on this is 100th appearance, but we still want to have some records to go for in the tank for the international days that lie ahead. He's done his job tonight. He's done his job brilliantly over 10 years, and a magnificent ovation for him.
I've got to say, 2 really, really clinical finishes as well. He made them look pretty easy, but the violence that he put on the first effort, creating it for himself, and the second one as well, set up really well by Madueke, but you've still got to hit it cleanly and hit it with precision.
It didn't take Madueke long to get his first international assist in it. And Pickford plays the ball out to the right-hand side of the penalty area. It's cleared. Bowen, who's playing through the middle now, almost with Jack Grealish alongside him, kind of. Finland have won it back, though, and Schuller will work it out to the left-hand side for Niskanen's giving it away. Bowen through the centre circle. And to the left-hand side for Rico Lewis. Lewis nudging it down the line for Eberici Eze. Eze faced up by Hoskonen, trying to get the ball inside the penalty area. He's just been eased out of it there. He's gone to ground and ending up in the advertising mat behind the goal. No complaints from Eze. It was a strong but fair challenge on him. England recycle it and have it again with Grealish. Grealish, Madueke looking for Bowen. From close quarters, couldn't find it. Finland will be able to bring it away. They're going to make another change in a moment as well. But they have a chance for a counter-attack here. But it was a poor ball in towards Lode, and a better pass for Shellman might have caused England a few problems. Wasn't forthcoming, and England will bring it forward. And from this position, with 10 to go, always important for clean sheets. England have gone out the habit of keeping clean sheets, but back-to-back clean sheets at the beginning of this Nations League campaign would be another boon for Lee Carsley and his men.
Yeah, certainly will. As I say, Finland, not so much this second half, Jim, but the first half had 2, 3, 4 good opportunities to create a good finish, but they couldn't take it.
Angel Gomez back towards Mark Gahey. Gahey into the Vida Gomez again. Rice goes that a little bit deeper and then sticks his foot through it to fire a ball out towards Grealish. Grealish and Eze have got a really good understanding on this left flank. Grealish controlled it, just rolled it down the line for Eze. Eze going inside the penalty area, pulled back towards Bowen, but it was cleared away from him and put out of play for a throw. He's still waiting for his first international goal, Jared Bowen. It's his 12th appearance for his country tonight. A lot of those have come off the bench, of course, but we'll be sensing that tonight might be his moment. The 10 men of North Macedonia 2 up now at home to Armenia. The Czechs 3-1 up against Ukraine. Adrian will bring you all the full-time scores from the National League games as well tonight. Last I heard, for those interested, alongside me, still Woking 1, Wilkeston 0. Sorry, Stu. The ball over on the England right. Long crossfield ball down towards Grealish. England leading 2-0. Lewis losing out. Lode will bring it forward. And then Lewis gets it back. It's played towards Eze. Stuart Pearce, professional to the end. Still frustrated by Wilson, trailing, has started literally throwing confectionery at the Woking supporter here in the commentary box with us. That is why we hire you.
It was a jelly baby, by the way.
Well, you don't have to justify your violence to me. Here's Lewis, played forward towards Eze. And now Gomez recycles it. And now inside the centre circle, Gomez finds Rice. I noticed, though, with typical Wilston precision, you missed him. Goes out towards Alexander-Arnold. Played down the right-hand touchline. Rice chasing after that. That wasn't the best of balls either. It's gone out of play. Finland are going to make another change. They're going to bring Leo Valter on, who's another one of the players that is based in Sweden. He plays his club football for Svenskan side Sirius. Only made his debut back in June for his country, and he's coming on for his 4th substitute appearance tonight, still yet to start. He'll come on in the midfield to replace Schuller. So it's another straight swap. Valter coming on just to give a pair of fresh legs at midfield. Now the attendance tonight has been announced as 70,221, which was certainly more than we were anticipating, and certainly more than the eye test would have told you as well. But that will be tickets sold, but a crowd of 70,000 tonight. We were speculating before the game it could be England's lowest crowd for a Wembley game in non-COVID conditions for 10 years, but not to be. Here's Trent Alexander-Arnold bringing the ball forward. England leading 2-0. Grealish has got it. Grealish getting it to Bowen, to Madueke. Madueke inside the area. Little step over from him. Can't work the angle for a shot, but he can pull it back for Declan Rice. Rice will turn and go back for Alexander-Arnold again to Rice. Now to Gomez. And then Gahey works it all the way back inside his centre circle for Colwell, whose ball out towards Lewis was slightly misplaced and hit hard enough that it then became a lost cause. Goes out of play. Throw which will be taken by Finland on the right flank. The other night, Stu, was a great first half performance, and England sort of went into the shells a little bit in the second half, but by necessity, with it still being 0-0 at half-time tonight, they've been better in this second period than they were in the first. Here's Madueke trying to thread the ball in here after Rudetsky with another error with the ball at his feet. He got away with that, but he'd presented it to Madueke, but he couldn't make the most of the chance. England have been better second half.
They have. They've kept the tempo longer, I think. And I think Gomez has played a big part in that. I think he's played a lot of forward passes. And for a player playing in that position, you can be tempted to go sideways and backwards.
That stall, ball inside the penalty area for Finland. It was whipped across the edge of the 6-yard box by Arntman, and he couldn't get Shellman in. And it's rolled through towards Jordan Pickford, but that was probably the best position that the Finns have got themselves in for a good 45-50 minutes or so. 4 to go. England leading by 2-0. And Greece a goal up in Ireland, so both sides with an identical record at the top of the groups. Played 2, 1-2, scored 4, conceded none. And that will set up the England-Greece game here at Wembley on October the 10th, live on Talksport. Beautifully. So much live football for you between now and then, though. Alexander-Arnold chipping the ball forward, headed away over on the far touchline by Niskanen, away from Madueke, down towards Declan Rice. Rice with a back heel, and goes back for Mark Gahey. Now work down the right once more for Bowen to come on to. Bowen, right-hand side of the penalty area, right in the challenge, he's pulling it back. Lewis will be able to mop up for England outside the penalty area after a couple of deflections, took it out of harm's way. Eze back for Grealish. Grealish faced up by Peltola. Lays it back towards Eze. Lewis trying a deft little flick inside the penalty area for Eze's run. It didn't come off. The next phase of play sees Gomez bring it forward in towards Eze. Good ball juggling from him. And Madueke, if anything, got in each other's way. And Finland able to clear their lines again. Friday night, Hull Sheffield Wednesday in the Championship. It's a Talksport 2 exclusive. Kicks off at 8. Game day live Saturday. Southampton against Manchester United. Build-up starting at 11. Stuart, part of the commentary team, alongside Sam Matterface for that 12:30 kickoff down on the Hampshire coast Saturday lunchtime. And then game day live with Adrian Durham, Darren Bent and Troy Deeney. All the goals as they go in. And Man City Brentford is live on Talksport 2 Saturday afternoon from 3. We've got it all covered for you. And that is just Friday and Saturday. Coming forward again, Rico Lewis towards the edge of the Finland penalty area. Eze feathers the ball back into his path. Finland are able to knock it away. They get it out towards Arntman. Over on the far touchline, the winger who's got a great reputation. 6 goals in just 9 starts for Finland. Back from him to Kamara. 4 from Ivanov. Koskinen to Peltola. And the blonde-haired central midfielder just guides the ball through the centre circle and out towards the far touchline for Glenn Kamara. Niskanen to Load. Back out to the Exeter City fullback again. Load, is he onside? Yes, he was. The flag has stayed down. Now it comes up against him, and it's a free kick to England in their right back position with about 90 seconds to go here. All over by the shouting. England 2, Finland 0 score.
Yeah, I think from Lee Carsley's point of view, you know, no goals conceded in 2 games, 2 winnable games. We knew that beforehand. I think an improvement on performance, I would say, from the first game on Saturday evening. And the only downside, I think we were available to maybe score more goals. We haven't created the clear-cut chances to do that, though. That is the one thing I'm sure he'll be looking at. The players that he's brought into the squad, Madueke, Gomez, to name but 2, have certainly done extremely well, I think, you know, and worthy of their place. And Gomez, for me, been the outstanding player.
Well, it'll be a discussion point between you and Adrian after the game, and also on the phone then as well. 03717223344. What needs to happen to translate this kind of performance into something that does have that more potency in front of goal? But the shot count is up in the 20s, albeit, as we've been saying, that for all the possession that England have had and 20-odd shots, the XG's not as high as they might like. The quality of chances hasn't been as good as they would like. Here's Grealish as we go into 5 minutes of added time, and then a collective groan from the Finnish players. Gomez, Eza, clever little back heel flick. Stall smuggles it away. Pelter inside his own penalty area, put his left back under all kinds of pressure. Madueke was lurking. England win it back with Rice. He tries to guide it forward for Noni Madueke, but Finland can bring that away, and will get it forward towards halfway, where Rice slides in a really well-timed challenge. He's been able to play the ball off Arkman and out of play for a throw to England.
Yeah, as I say, over the 2 games, not too many changes, a real consistency of the lineup, and I'm pleased about that. I mean, it would have been easy maybe to chop and change a lot of the players within the team. I think he's given most players the lion's share of minutes.
Oh yeah, no debut for Tino Livramento. Morgan Gibbs-White got a few minutes in Dublin and did well, but no sign of him coming on tonight. There might be 2 individuals that would be a little disappointed that they haven't had more chance to shine on this, their first international call-up. Here's Bowen. That's a good crossfield ball from him. Grealish right in front of us, controls it, chests it down, brings it forward, gliding inside the area. Great ball across the edge of the 6-yard box, and almost inexplicably there wasn't a white shirt there to tap it in.
I think we've just seen Harry Kane's hat-trick there, Jim.
Yeah, I think Harry will be thinking that as well. Ball forward from Alexander-Arnold into the feet of Bowen. Tried to turn back to the direction of goal, but just hit Niskanen and rebounded to relative safety for Finland. Alexander-Arnold to Colwell. Left-footed flighted chip down towards Grealish. Immaculate control from him. Giving a little shove from Stall. Grealish can just make his way back and find Angel Gomez. Gomez's performance will certainly be one of the great takeaways from tonight. He's been fantastic on his full England debut, and by no means the first player in recent times to hit the ground running on his full debut for his country. Ball over on the England right-hand side with Noni Madueke, whose full debut for his country still lies ahead, but a very significant night in his young life tonight. Declan Rice, out towards the right for Madueke. Madueke controlling it, goes back for Alexander-Arnold. 2.5 minutes of stoppage time, both gone and to go. Alexander-Arnold back through the midfield for Colwell. Colwell's got Gahey behind him. The crowd beginning to thin out and head for the tube now with no jeopardy here. Colwell played forward. Challenge on Grealish, not a particularly effective one. He's ridden the first one, and now he's just going to be able to breeze his way past Stall as well. Stall Grealish flicking the ball into the edge of the penalty area for Eza. Back for Jack Grealish once more. A couple of minutes to go for England to set the seal on an impressive 3 points with 3 goals. Grealish to Eza again. Back towards Gomez. Eza receiving the ball on the turn, and almost like an owl, just moving his head around as he picked up possession to see exactly who was where. In the blink of an eye, he was able to lay off a very effective ball. Back he goes towards Eza again. This time he's lost possession. The counter-attack could be on. Pelter, Chelman trying to bring the ball forward, and he just ran down a blind alley. It was really good covering from Mark Gahey. He and Colwell did well to win it back. And then they get it forward quickly for Madueke, who's running with pace and intent, but not with a decent finish, and he's fired it over the top left-hand corner.
No, his angle of run was perfect. He's cutting in, he's on a 45-degree angle, but he never got himself set once to take the ball and get curl on it to put it in the far corner, what he was trying to achieve.
A late goal for Greece, which means that they will stay, if England don't find one with their last attack, on top of this Nations League group after 2 games. Ireland 0, Greece 2. And England leading Finland by the same scoreline. Clearance from the goalkeeper Radetsky is a poor one, a tired one. Easily headed down by Eza, finding Grealish. Grealish pushed to the ground. Free kick to England. And one last chance to load the penalty area here. They've resisted the temptation to do that, taking the free kick short and quickly. Grealish and Eza and Lewis just indulging their own private game for a moment. Back it goes for Declan Rice. Rice on halfway to Gomez. Through the centre circle for Mark Gahey. Gahey on the right-hand side of the midfield for Gomez. Gomez forward towards Jared Bowen. It's the last attack for England. Bowen just Rides the challenge from Pelter that had a little nibble at his ankles, and the ball comes off Niskanen and goes out of play for a throw, but there's no time to take. Well, this is Harry Kane's night. 2 goals for him on his 100th appearance for his country. 2 goals that have given England 3 points and the maintenance of their perfect start in this Nations League campaign. But while Kane will look back on 10 years of magnificence as an England player, this also provided a bright little insight into how the future might be for England. A stack of chances, loads of possession, great movement, and Lee Carsley will reflect, I think, on his first week as being one of great promise, but still a little bit of improvement to come as well. But England have got the job done tonight. They've beaten Finland by 2-0.
As King Kane walks out onto the pitch to greet those players who finished the game, it is all about him. Jim, spot on. 100 caps. That first goal, Stuart described it so perfectly. Hit with violence, hit with force. It was so well struck. Keeper, despite the fact that it was just above his head, had no chance whatsoever. In off the underside of the bar. A brilliant Harry Kane strike. And then the second, and you wanted Lee Carsley to leave him on for his hat-trick, and there the ball was, as Stuart said in commentary, flashed across the 6-yard box. Surely Harry Kane would have been there to poke it home for number 3, but it wasn't to be. 2 will do, and Harry Kane celebrates a big night for him and his family, who are all here to witness it at Wembley Stadium. Fantastic from the captain. And we'll talk about Harry Kane very shortly, Stuart Pearce. As a lot of fans have already left, you can understand that, on a school night, wanted to get away. Game was done. Even at 1-0, Finland didn't really show any intention of trying to get an equaliser, so the game was done, especially at 2-0. And those fans who've remained get applause from those England players who are out there. We'll talk about Kane shortly, but it was frustrating in the first half. There was some patience from England, but this is going to happen. We're going to have to get used to it, no matter how good the players are that we've got at our disposal. You won't always be able to unlock them in the first minute and then batter them 10-0, will you?
You won't be able to do that, no, but we probably have to find a way to create more clear-cut chances, I would say. We look extremely good in possession of the ball, there's no doubt about that. This is the sum total of probably 2 decades of great academy coaching and all of those types of things. We've got some wonderful young players. The production line's there for all to see. Madueke, Gomez coming in for his first game, just walks into it as though he's been here all his life. Incredible. We've just got to be a little bit cuter in and around that last third. How do we break teams down? How do we get on the end of things? What's needed for certain games? Sometimes there's more of a directness rather than keep it, come out, go wide again, come back out from wide. Sometimes you have to pop the ball in the box to create chaos, as they say in the game, So, and then from the resulting headed clearance, you're on the edge of the box and you've got shots and all of those things, mixing it up slightly.
If you're going to have long-range shots, get them on target so a keeper parries it out and causes more disruption in his own box, as an example as well. People watching football regularly and listening to us regularly might think, well, Manchester City face this most weeks. Teams banking up against them, teams trying to defend against them, and yet they seem to make it look easy. Is that simply that they've got better players? Because I think some of these England players are really good, aren't they?
Well, they're outstanding players, but what you would say, if Haaland doesn't score for Manchester City, who does? Then you would say De Bruyne has got a decent goal record, and they've got other players within their ranks that have got good goal record. Yep. Exactly that. So, Foden's got for his club 20 odd goals last season. So the goals are coming from elsewhere. What we need is the likes of Grealish in a club and international shirt to get more goals for his football. I think he's had 2 really good games where I think he'll come away from this get together thinking, you know what, my self-esteem's grown up a little bit at international level.
Yeah, wears the England shirt that little bit more comfortably, doesn't he, after these 2?
Yeah, I think so. I think the manager's trusted him. He's given him 2 starts in the game, and that type of thing. Technically, we look really good. There's no doubt about that. But we need that little bit more directness. I think Madueke offers that, I've got to say. Saka's never let England down, and his goal-scoring ratio's not bad at all. So, but listen, it's 2 games under a different voice, under a different manager, under different coaching staff, and we've seen improvement game on game. I expect to see better next month as well.
I'm intrigued by what you were saying about the wide players in the second half there. And I'm doing the marks out of 10. It's going to be on the website very shortly, talksport.com. Don't give me that look.
That was a look of approval, believe it or not.
Really? Yeah, I get it. But I kind of, am I wrong to expect more from them? So I know, I love watching Saka for Arsenal. He's brilliant. He seems to do the same thing over and over again, but defenders just can't cope with it. And he hasn't really done that in these 2 games, and I've kind of wanted him to do more. Anthony Gordon as well. I don't think he had a bad game. Neither of them had bad games today, but I kind of expect a little bit more from them. When Grealish was out wide, I expected more. Then Eze and Madueke come on, and all of a sudden they're live wires, you know?
Yeah, they are. But what I would say about both Gordon and Saka, and I mentioned it in the first half, and I mentioned it in the second half, sometimes when you pick the ball up, either in deep line midfield areas or in wide areas, and you're looking to face the goal up directly from maybe, you know, where we are at the moment, looking directly at this goal to our right, somewhere just outside the box, what do you want to see? You want to see a centre forward that's pinned the centre half. So you shove the ball into his feet and you just follow that ball. The centre forward holds it and he sets it off to you. You come on and you hit your strike first time. That's what he needs. I didn't think that was there tonight. And I would ask Harry about that. I would say, look, sometimes you're going to have to offer yourself as a target, as a focal point, and don't move. Just stand there and receive the ball into feet, because he's very, very good at receiving into feet.
Are you criticising Harry Kane there?
I criticise anybody that I see that might improve England's performance, and I'm telling you, to break teams down, you've got to shove it into people's feet and you've got to follow the ball on occasion.
So what sort of night did Harry Kane have? I mean, he's obviously got a couple of goals, 100th cap, and he is going to be the big talking point. He's got a high mark from me, by the way, and it's based mainly around the quality of the goals. It's what he can do to win games. It's what we need him to do to win games, particularly when teams are banked up trying to defend against us. But there were flaws maybe in his game in the first half you're pointing out tonight.
Yeah, stuff that you wouldn't say technically is a bad thing. It might go unnoticed. But I'm thinking, what would I want if I was a wide player, a midfield player, or a fullback that's gone surging forward? I want my centre forward to be a focal point saying, give me the ball and keep going, keep running, and running behind me, and I'll find you with the next pass. That's what I would want. So I'm looking for that. Maybe other players don't, but and other pundits don't, but I'm looking for that directly. And I think it would improve us a little bit. Instead of coming sideways and coming back out again, that would improve us.
Two great finishes, though. The first one was outstanding. Was unstoppable, really, wasn't it?
Brilliant. I mean, he's received the ball and he's created the space for himself, and he's pulled it onto that right foot of his brilliantly. Great ball in from Trent. He's moved it. I think he's moved it through the legs of the defender, the on-rushing defender, and the violence that he's put on the ball has beaten the goalie before he could move. The goalies fell away from it. It's hit the underside. A brilliant finish. And listen, he's on 60-odd goals. And what was been the difference tonight between the team getting booed slightly at the end of the game, when you strip it all down, and the team coming off with a clean sheet, having won the game? Harry Kane.
Yeah, and the second one was a terrific finish as well. And had he stayed on, he might have had a hat-trick. I mean, should Lee Carsley have kept him on for that reason? Is that too sentimental?
There's no sentiment in my world, my friend. You know, you make a decision that you think's the right footballing decision, and that's the end of it. I think if he'd have stayed on, he might well have got his hat-trick.
Overall, though, it was a difficult first half. The second half, it eased up with the goals, but we were surprised that Finland didn't even try to get back on level terms. You thought with the first goal it might open up a little bit more and they might try to get an equaliser, but they didn't really, did they? Was that just because we were better than them?
Honestly, I don't think that they had the technical ability to threaten us in the main. There was the odd occasion in the first half where we sort of got advanced, got spread, lost the ball, or they managed to retain it, and then all of a sudden the cavalry charge was on, and you think, oh, hang on a minute, this looks a little bit awkward. If they would have been slightly better with their passing. But the bottom line is, in the main, I don't think they had the tools to get up the pitch and play for us.
You've got to remember, they brought on a League One player in the second half. when they're trailing. So that's the levels we're talking about. It's a game England should win. They made it as hard as possible for England to win it, but they did win it. And what I loved about Kane's second goal was that he's taken it early. It's an early strike from him, and maybe some might need a touch, but he's thought, no, I'm going to hit this first time, and the keeper just won't be able to get near it, and that's exactly what happened.
It looks easy. Honestly, it looks easy what he does, but it's uncanny how more often than not it's such a clean finish. It's past the goalie before he can react, and when you look, he's probably had 2 or 3 other efforts at goal that the goalie's had to save as well. He's had the ball in the net in the first half, so on another day he's got probably 4 or 5 goals potentially, where I don't see any other England player getting those sort of figures.
We'll get reaction from Faker Others in the England camp as soon as we possibly can, and if it's not on this show, it'll be the Sports Bar, which is coming up after 10 o'clock. 03717 22 3344.